don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is Thursday. And I had to think there for a second. It's been a whirlwind type of a day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Thursday, February 12th, 2026. It is a little after 9. It's just about 9:12 p.m. Eastern where I am sitting in the world. And I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. Hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful day. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is a big, big day. Even though we haven't talked about it, we don't talk about it nearly as much as we do the filing deadline. Tomorrow is a big day. It's the deadline for folks to withdraw from the 2026 primary election. If they so choose or want to withdraw beforehand, they can do that. It's also the deadline for individuals to file challenges against candidates that they have issues with, take issues with, or whatever. And it's, you've got to, it's not just like, hey, I don't like this person. You've got to have some actual issues. There have to be some challengeable issue. I guess you could file a challenge for any reason, but you have to have an actual legal reason, or else they probably are not going to be removed. And so that is the deadline tomorrow. That's for noon tomorrow. They do these deadlines at noon on the day. So Friday the 13th, it's going to be so amazing to see what happens, what doesn't happen, who's in, who's out, all these type of things. It's going to be quite wild. And so we're going to be monitoring it. And I have to say, depending on the day tomorrow, we might have to do a special Friday night show. I don't know that we will. We more than likely probably won't. But there are a couple of things that could happen that could trigger it. So I'm going to tell everyone here, if you are wanting to know if something will happen tomorrow and we will have a show, the best way for you to know that is, number one, if you just pop on over to YouTube, and if you subscribe, and once you subscribe to the channel, it does not cost you anything to subscribe. You click that bell, then you'll be notified when we put up the show. Okay? So you'll know that. While you're there, you might as well hit the like button on this episode. Just smash that while you're there. Finish it. Do that thing. That would be great. Share the link. Share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. That does a lot. Doesn't cost you anything, and it's a way to show support without doing anything, too crazy. So we'd appreciate that. You can also follow us on our social media accounts, which you can see right here. Right there's all of our links. There's the YouTube, the Rumble, the Facebooks, the X account, all of that information. So you can follow us and find us. I will post something on both Facebook accounts as well as the Twitter account, as well as I will publish the show sometime between 12:30 and 1 if we are going live. So it'll be like, plan on us not going live, but if you see something triggered at between 12 and 1 tomorrow, it'll be on Facebook, and I will publish the show, and so you guys will know that that's the way. So just follow us there and understand all that. All right. Boy, let me tell you, last night was a show, right? My ears are still ringing. It's having Catherine and Rachel both on, and looking at Catherine, her head's getting ready to pop off because she went like an hour without talking. And then after going an hour without talking, she's like, I'll show you. She then talked for like an hour and a half with no breath. And so, man, I tell you, that was wild. We should all get some kind of special something because we got through it. It was wild. It was amazing. We're happy. We're glad. Wonderful. Thank you guys for sticking around and still being here. It's just me tonight. Well, me and producer Kate. Producer Kate's here making sure that the buttons are pushed and the people are happy and everything's great. Wonderful. We always appreciate that. Had a great conference call with producer Kate and Brandon Rudd this late evening. And talked about some things with the show and all that. That's great. That's exactly right. Total Madness. Absolutely. So tonight we are going to focus on, last night we talked about Henry County and Madison County. Tonight we're going to focus on Delaware County, the filings in Delaware County. Then we are also going to talk about some things in the city of Muncie that have been happening over the last couple of days. We've been talking about some crazy things going on in Muncie. What is Dan Ridenour doing? What in the hell's happening? What went on at the Board of Works meeting? Just all kinds of things relating to the city of Muncie. What's going on with the city council? What's happening with the Delaware County Republican Party? More of the same in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, it's real crazy. Even though the names have changed, the games remain the same. It's just nothing. The more things change, the more things stay the same. That kind of saying, and it's just. It's always crazy to see when somebody starts making excuses. It's always interesting to see what happens there. And then they start making excuses. Excuse. And then they keep getting more and more crazy and more wild and more excuse-like. And it's just like, dude, stop. At some point, just be like, all right, yeah, you got me. We're dirtbags too. And it's like, okay, we know, everybody knows, we're all cool with it. You're still alive. No one's going to get you. No, nothing's happening. Nothing bad's going on. We're still here. We see you. You see us. We just know that you guys are dirtbags. All right. It is what it is. That's just how it goes. That's the name of the game. So we're going to talk about all of that. Going out to, that's exactly right, Jack. That's absolutely correct, sir. We're going to talk, before we get into the Muncie and the Delaware County stuff, I am going to put up this information because I feel like we were talking about it. We literally started talking about it right at the end of last night's show, and I know a lot of you had checked out by that point because it had been a long one, you know. So, Amber Bevins had put up a comment just a few minutes ago. Anything new with Nick Gawley situation? And I want to make sure that you are all aware. Reference Nick Gawley and the whole Henry County situation with John Sproles, the sheriff of Henry County, with his people. And all of that. We do have some information, and I feel like some of you probably heard it last night, but not all of you did. So I definitely want to let you guys hear what happened at the end of last night's show. Literally, as we were going off, I found that I had an email sent to me yesterday. I've had some crazy emails sent to me the last couple days. Yesterday, Wednesday, February 11th, 2027. We jumped a whole year. I was looking at Kate, and I forgot what I was doing. February 11th, Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, at 4:09 p.m. John Guy, get a load of this guy. John Guy sent me an email that says, Mr. Bilbrey, the videos you requested on Bell and Gawley are ready. I don't know if Amanda. No, sorry. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Amanda's here. Amanda is Nick's mom. If she's not here, if someone could please let her know, I will send her a message at some point. And I don't know if Amy Bell is here. And if she's not, if somebody could please let her know, I will also send her a message. But the videos that the Political Spotlight requested are ready from the Henry County Sheriff's Office. The email says, Chief Deputy John Smith and Captain Stacy Guffey will be available to meet with you to allow you to inspect the videos on Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 at 1 p.m. Now, I don't understand why we're getting started so late in the day, because it's going to take a while to get through everything that I am planning to get through. It is what it is, but we'll start at 1 and we'll take it as long as we can take it, and we'll do what we got to do. But they're going to let me inspect these videos at the Henry County Sheriff's Office. The email goes on, and they say, in accordance with Indiana Code 5-14-3-5.1, during the inspections of the video recordings, you may not copy or record them. If you do want copies, we will be able to provide them to you for the fees that we discussed previously. And I looked at this yesterday as like the show, as we were like literally getting ready to go off the air. And I was like, yeah, something doesn't seem right with this. Something just does not seem on par with the law, with how we've operated in the past, how the sheriff's department's operated in the past. And so I told you all, or the people that were watching last night, I told you that we would check on this and we would let you know where things stood. So I called the Henry County attorney today, Joel Harvey, and Joel and I have a very kind of like a love-hate relationship, you know? I love to call him and stick my foot up his ass, and he hates me. And so it's kind of like that. Listen, I respect Joel. Joel has a difficult job because he has a sheriff that's elected by the people to the county who is an imbecile and is a child and who is out of control and who is a maniac and who doesn't understand basic concepts like the law and aspects of his job, public service, and things like that. And there's not a whole lot Joel can do. Joel can give him information. Joel can tell him how they need to proceed with things. And John can listen or he can not listen. And he can decide to act on Joel's advice or not act on Joel's advice. And if he does completely opposite of what Joel says, there's nothing that can happen that can get him in trouble. He doesn't get fired. Joel can't punish him. So it's honestly, it's really frustrating. I feel sorry for Joel. And so Joel's got this. And then what happens is then I am on Henry County's ass. And, so then Joel has to deal with me. And I understand it's frustrating. And I called the attorney today and I said, hello, hey. And they said, my tell me who's calling. And I said, I always kind of pause because I always want to give a different name. I always don't want to give my name because I know when I give my name, he's like, no, tell him I'm not here. Tell him I'm not here. So today I said, it's Kristopher Bilbrey, and please tell him that it's a nice call today. Like I'm not upset, and it's going to be a pleasant call. And she put me on hold, and she was gone for a little bit longer than normal. And Joel picked up the phone. I mean, it was amazing. So Joel answered, and I told him about this situation. I walked him through this, and I told him that basically I am requesting the exact same records that I requested during the Marquest Neal situation. And that during the Marquest Neal situation, I was able to go in, watch the security videos, watch the body cam videos. I was able to make recordings, all that I wanted of the videos I was watching in real time. And then also I was able to request for them to make copies of certain parts of the videos. And they provided them to me and there was no issue. And I said, the problem I have is this is the same situation. It's the same situation. It's the same. Nothing is different. I'm asking the same for the same footage, the same videos of of an incident in the jail that law enforcement officers committed. And I said, I think that I should be permitted to make videos. And he said he would look into this, that he would find out what's going on. I told him I think that they are trying to stretch something that doesn't apply to this situation to this situation. And I'm not even mad. I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I just think it's a screw up. I did also contact the Indiana Public Access Counselor. And I contacted Jennifer Ruby, and she said very much the same thing. Let her look at this. I'm going to send this to her. As a matter of fact, as soon as we get off the air, I'm going to send her out an email and explain kind of in writing what I was telling her over the phone. And she said she would get back to me before I go in on Tuesday. So I've set my appointment. I contacted them. We will have information. And for everyone I'm seeing these comments, and I'm seeing this where people are saying things Like, will they have the actual footage without things being deleted? People are saying like, oh, you're going to go in there and they're not going to have. Here's the situation. Here's basically the long and the short of it. Okay. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to review everything that they have. John Sproles has been very outspoken in the fact that we've got 300 cameras and blah, 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 blah. Now, listen, I don't need to see the cameras in the kitchen. He wasn't in the kitchen. It's not an allegation of him being in the kitchen and getting beat up. I don't need to see the videos, except for on the 18th of the Sallyport. I only need to see that video like on the last day he was there. I don't need to see the videos out in the, so there's a lot of videos I'm going to be able to automatically just say, I don't need to see these. When I went in and asked for them to show me the video of John Sproles shooting Marquest Neal in the legs and literally going, woo, we can go all night. Give me some more ammo. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. Woo! Like, dude, that's pretty damning. Like, it doesn't get any more damning than that. He could have definitely went in and deleted that stuff, scrubbed it, whatever. And I could have been like, hey, there's shit missing here. And that would have been a problem, and we could have bitched and griped, but at least we wouldn't have seen that footage. But he didn't. And I'm going to tell you, he didn't because his own ego, his narcissistic behavior won't let him, because they believe they are in the right. He believes they are in the right. So I will tell you, people, I don't think for a moment that any footage is going to be deleted. I think it's going to be there. I think things are going to be there, and we'll see what we'll see. If I go in there and it's like 3 hours are missing, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a real problem for them, because I'll tell you what happens in politics. When I have my fist here, okay, and I'm holding my fist up and like waving it, you think I'm going to punch you, okay? Then when I do this and I hide my fist, you don't know, am I still holding my fist up? Am I flipping you off? Am I waving at you? You know what I mean? But in your mind, you could make up any number of things. I could have been holding a knife. YouTube, I could have been holding a gun. You know what I mean? Ooh, scary, scary. I could have been holding a gun. You know what I mean? So when we see the things, it might look bad, but when things are covered under the cover of darkness, well, it might be, you know it, it might be even worse, and that can let our mind go. So if we go in there and they've deleted it, if they've scrubbed it, if they've censored it, if they've edited it in some way, the stories that we can make up are so much more worse that will be very bad for them. First of all, it will be a public access issue. It would be a legal issue. We would file suit on that. There would be a lot of stuff going on. And then it's like, it's our story to tell at that point. And John can't dispute it because, like, hey, you deleted it for some reason, or it just happened to go blank at that time, you know? So I really, truly believe that there will be video there. And this is on both situations. It's the video of Gully, and it's also the video of Brian Bell, of Brian Bell of Henry County, the arrest on Saturday, the 10th, when he went into jail, when he was pulled out by the plainclothes deputies. So this is going to be bang, 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 two birds with one stone. So I'm happy about this. Timestamps are a wonderful thing. And, it's definitely a weird thing. So I will keep you guys posted about that. There will be, I want to ask you a question. We'll keep you guys posted, and I'll let you know. We're gonna switch off to the new topic now. I want to ask you. I want to do something for a second, and I want to ask you if something changes. Okay? Can you tell me? I don't know what happens. I'm going to do something for a second, and I want to ask you if you can hear me. Okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me well or no? I can't see what Kate's saying. Slightly hollow. Weird. Okay. All right. Never mind. We won't do that. I don't know why. I don't know what was going on there. Oh, I do know what was going on there. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Let me do this like this. Oh, crazy. I see. Check. That's why. Ooh, that's real scary. You want to see something real wild? Look at this. Dun dun dun. We should. Wait a minute. What are you muting? Let me see if we can do that. Which one is straight in front of me? That one's straight there. So let's mute this. Check. Now, can you hear me? And you can hear me well? It's too much Bilbrey on the screen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? See, this is wild because we've got different shots now, and we can toggle between the cameras, and you can hear me. Wow. See, this is some footage I was toying around with for the new studio, different shots, because generally I'm coming to you from here. Okay? I'm normally coming to you from right here, but then sometimes I'm looking over here. And so I can do this, and then I can look in over here. And then I can look right here. Ooh. Chris Bill 3. I love it. Okay, that's a little much for me. So let's get back to this, and we'll. Oh shit. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Oop, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, enough of that. That was getting out of control. Okay, what the hell's going on here? There we go. Enough of that. Boom. All right, we're back to normal there, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, we had a little bit of craziness there. Just want to see what was going on. It will be great for dramatic effect. When we get to the new studio here in a couple of weeks, things will be looking things are going to be going well. So we were just playing around. Let me see. He said the bottom camera was not as clear. Give me just 1 second here. We'll figure this out here because I do want to figure that out. Which is the bottom camera? Is this the bottom camera? Are you saying that's not as clear? Or is it the camera that's up here now? Is it that one that's not clear? That one's not clear. It will be soon. Top right. I know why it's not. It's because of the lighting as it is, but here's what'll happen. The lighting at this new studio will be fantastic. It'll be great. Okay, well, good. That was a fun little experiment. Goodbye, Bilbrey. And there we go. All right, so we'll let you know what's going on. You're making me feel like a fly. Not as clear, but you but you look better. I always look, hey, I'll do what we can. I'll tell you how I look the best. I look the best like this. There you go. Clean cut, skinny. Boy, look at that sexy dude there. He's amazing. Well, let's see what happens when we get out to the new studio. I think you're gonna like it. All right. So let's move on with things. That's the Golly update. So we can let you guys know kind of what's going on there. All right, now we're going to move into the Muncie MUNCIE Board of Works meeting. Okay, we're going to watch the Board of Works meeting, this most recent Muncie Board of Works meeting that occurred on Wednesday. And it's been a minute since we watched a Board of Works meeting. And I've got to tell you, we have never covered the thing that Alva has put a lot of time and work in, and we're going to. I still swear we're going to, because what Alva has uncovered is really weird. And I'll just tell you basically as it is. The situation is Alva has uncovered that the Muncie Board of Works board, the three of them, go in and so you've got the president, which is Mr. Fun, Ted Baker, and you've got the controller, Craig Wright, who's Mr. Usual. And Mr. Usual comes in and he gives them the claims for the week. And then Mr. Fun and his cohorts vote always unanimously to pay the claims. No questions, no issues, no problems. And it's always very, very, very high. 500,000, 800,000, 1.2 million, 2.1 million, 1.5 million, things like that. But then almost always, unless someone's bought a sandwich or someone's having a party with alcohol, absolutely, that's exactly true. Almost always what Alva has found is, and we concur, that the bills and the claims are almost always higher than what they actually talk about. Not almost, he says. It's just always. Not almost, just always. Always higher than what the claims are actually discussed. And I just don't understand what's happening when that happens. I don't understand how that can happen. I've never heard them go back and make an adjustment. I've never heard them go back and say, oh, we got the claims last week and we paid, but some more things came in and it was actually $200,000 higher or $20,000 higher or whatever the case may be. I've never heard them go back and correct the record. I've never heard them go back and fix things. I've never heard them later vote to approve payment on things that somehow changed. And that should not be happening. That should not be happening. So we are going to look at that. Hopefully, I'll be really honest. I'm going to tell you really honestly. The way things have been going, it will probably be maybe sometime in May at the end of when the primary's done. If things keep going the way that they're going, it's going to be a minute because I just almost can't catch my breath. There's so much stuff going. It's just happening. So we'll have to see what goes on. But that is not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is a very another very strange situation where something that I've talked about back in the spring of 2025, that I've been talking about this. Alva says, correction. There have been times when they approve more than the controller's office pays. Okay, all right. Still, that's an issue. And that's almost more of a problem. That is almost more of a problem, because if the controller's office says, okay, the claims today are $1 million, but the actual bills that come in are only $900,000, well, what's going on with that extra $100,000 that they've already paid for? Where is that? What's happening? Yeah, what's going on with that? So this is a big deal, and I really applaud Alva for finding this. And listen, maybe we look into this and we ask the question and we ask it and they answer it right in time, in a timely fashion, and they give us a very valid reason. Okay? You don't want me thirding myself again. That's for damn sure. And listen, while we're talking about this, I'm going to go ahead and put up yes. Hold on. Sorry. I also want to say something that was brought to my attention, and I'm not going to say who. I can't say by who. I don't know that I have the approval to do that, so I'm not going to do that. But I also want to say this. Someone brought this to my attention. So Ted Baker signed a contract with Leap for $37,500 monthly and asked a $650,000 tech budget for the city of Muncie. I'm not sure how to look into this, and you were the first person I thought that could give me advice or help. I would have liked to bid on that. However, I don't know if I just missed an RFP or if one wasn't submitted and it was done transparently through the backdoor conversations, the Muncie way. And so I am looking into this and filing record requests, and we are looking into this. It's really crazy what's going on there, and everything happening with Ted, to me, is always questionable. I just don't trust the things that he does. We should get Audie to be the auditor. That would be something. It would definitely be something. So, there are some things that we are looking into as far as the Board of Works and the Board of Works members are concerned. That's going to be interesting. Hopefully we'll have answers on all of this soon. But before we get there, we have to take care of this.
Go to Florida next week to speak. Of the Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety, if you'd please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
So it looks like Lola is gone.
Indivisible, with liberty.
Sorry, I shouldn't have been talking during the pledge.
Good morning and welcome. If we could have roll call, please.
Ted Baker.
Present.
As presented. Second.
Where did Lola come from?
Comments or questions? Again, another great job. Thank you. So with no comments or questions,
I just fast forward.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
They're all
Aye.
here.
All
I wanted
opposed?
to get
Okay,
to the
motion carried.
claims.
Thank you. We have been given the register of claims by City Controller Craig Wright. Craig, you going to speak to us about a few of the claims?
Good morning.
Morning.
Sent out the claims
Why not all the claims?
yesterday afternoon. It's credit card week, so it was a little lengthier than on a week normal basis. We had our usual claims, to Indiana, Michigan Power for traffic signals and street
The
lights.
usual.
We did have a claim to Tyler Technologies, which we split with the county for the New World fees, and also 3D Company from MVH Restricted for the Columbus Avenue reconstruction, and that was for $272,940.91. And our usual utilities and health.
Our usual utilities.
Open it up to any questions. We still have a little cleanup to do on explanations on a few of them.
I will tell you a funny story, because Craig Wright and I generally have had a very contentious relationship. And at the last Muncie City Council meeting, I was going out back. I was going into the bathroom to use the bathroom, and it was during the recess. It was after I got done having my conversation with Jeff Green. And as I was walking back there, they were starting to have the meeting, and Craig stops me, like very just like we were best friends, and he says, "Hey, Bilbrey." And I turn around and look at him, and he says, "Hey, Bilbrey, can you tell those people in the hall we're getting ready to get started?" And he goes, "Oh, I mean, Mr. Bilbrey, could you?" And I was like, "You don't got to do all that." And we just kind of like laughed. It was funny. It was like a moment. And it like really combined us. So now I don't care if what kind of money deal they're going on. I don't care if it's usual, not usual, or whatever. Like I was like, "Oh, that's cute. I like you. Like we're friends now." He's like, "Yo, Bilbrey." And I was like, "Well, that was kind of weird." And then after the meeting, I was walking out and I was like, "Oh my God, that was a long one." And he's like, "You're telling me I'm so stiff?" Like we were just talking like old chums. It was just so amazing. And I kind of like Craig now. Like that. See how just that one little moment. It was just amazing. All right. Anyways,
Excuse me. Linda, do you have any comments?
I have none, thank you.
you're not excused, Ted.
Okay, and I do not either. Do we have a motion to approve?
I don't have any
I
at
move
this point
approval
either.
of claims for $1,307,095.
Woo!
Do you have any comments or questions? Okay, having none, all those in favor signify by saying
How
aye.
did you get that far
Aye.
back
All
again?
opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Craig. And we do have some orders of new business here. Street closure application for Ball State University spring commencement.
Okay,
And-
everybody, I want you to look at what Alva just said here. This is this is not what we're talking about today, but this is something that I want people to know. So Alva says, for this meeting, for example, approved $1.3 million, so $1,307,095, but yet they paid $1,195,224.50, a difference of $111,870.50. So what happened? Where is that money? What's the deal with that money? What's the deal with that money? You know, why is that happening? Why did we vote on, why did the Board of Works members see that the register of claims was totaling $1.3 million? Why did they vote on that? And then why did they not, in fact, pay that? And where is that extra $111,800? What's the deal? That's a pretty big deal. That is a pretty big discrepancy. So things that make you go, huh?
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
All right, so
Lieutenant
we'll listen to
Anthony
this.
Hurst, Ball State Police Department, Special
So,
Events Training Coordinator.
Here's the Ball State
Making
Police
a request for
coordinator.
May 2nd spring commencement to have.
And they're doing this. This is basic stuff. We're gonna blast
Yeah.
through this. This
Community
is
University
important, but
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you very much. We'll have documents signed right afterwards if you want to wait here. We have a street closure application for the Woodlands Community Anniversary event on 5/14.
okay, another
Good morning.
street.
Good morning. I'm Connie Kiger from the Woodlands. I do their marketing and admissions. We are looking to close the street again this year. This will be our third year of doing
Another
our-
street closing.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I move approval of the street closure for May 14th.
Okay.
Will alcohol be there?
Love it when a community does events for other people. It's great. That's what makes our community great. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Again, we'll have documentation for you shortly.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Hold on to your butts, because this is where it gets nuts, all right?
Veritas Police Station Phase 1.
In which Doris gets her oats. Nobody gets that. Okay, let's listen to this.
1. Good morning, Mayor. We'll have documentation for you shortly. Veritas Police Station Phase 1. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. How was everybody?
Good.
Good, thank you.
So we are having some challenges, continued to have challenges as we work with our current building. We've had flooding issues in the building, and that is a major challenge downstairs, which is the records room.
No, it's
and
not
so
the
we
records
are
room,
looking-
and he's corrected later. It's so the downstairs under City Hall, ladies and gentlemen, contains the police department's uniform division. It's where the uniformed officers meet in roll call. It's where they go to do their reports. It's where their sergeants and lieutenants hang out. It's also where their locker room is. It's where the workout gym is. And probably most importantly, it is where the evidence room is. And so what I mean is all evidence that the city of Muncie deals with, evidence, they find a bike, it's put into evidence, there's stolen information, they find it, there's a bank robbery, and they've got guns that dropped, and they find it and they put it in evidence. Drugs, if there's a murder, and there's a murder weapon, if there's sheets, bloody bed, any kind of thing that you can think of that would be evidentiary in nature, comes here and has to be held here. And it has to be secure. It needs to be an area that's not contaminated, that can't be contaminated, that can't be like flooded and destroyed. So it is important. Okay, it's very, very, very important. So the fact that he's saying it's, I'll be honest, I have not heard, like, I've spent a lot of time down there, and it didn't flood back then. And so if this is something new that's going on, I've personally not ever heard of this. So that's interesting. I had never heard until right now that they had flood. Okay. Flooding issues down there, and that's a big issue to me. Hopefully something that the city's been working on. I haven't heard that they've been doing any work down there. Didn't know that they had been paying money to do work down there. Hadn't heard they'd been taking bids or doing it. This is the first I'm hearing of this. That's the first I'm hearing of this, but we're not done yet.
For opportunities to adjust how the police department
We'll go back.
downstairs, which is the records room.
Property room.
And so we are looking for opportunities to adjust how the police department is in our building, or
They're looking for opportunities to adjust how the police department is in our building. I don't know what that means. So I want to give you kind of an understanding of what goes on at City Hall. Okay, I think it's probably for those that don't know, or for those that aren't from Muncie, you might not have a true understanding of what goes on at City Hall. And so I want to give you guys kind of an understanding of what goes on. Trying to look for, this is probably the best way to show it. We'll do it like this. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to put this up in overlays here, and we will show you what we have going on here with the city of Muncie. So for those of you that are not familiar, opportunities, the scariest word Dan uses. That is absolutely true. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here is the wonderful Muncie City Hall. And so basically what we have here is we have a building that has 3 stories and a basement. And so on the first floor, we have like the hallways where you come in. We have the clerk's office, the police records, the actual records division. We have the sanitary district. We have the courtroom or the council chambers, and that's what's down there. And then when you move up to the second floor is personnel. It's the police chief's offices. So the police chief, the chief, deputy chiefs of police are in there. Victims advocates there, and it's also where CID, the Criminal Investigation Division, the detectives are. And then when you get to the third floor is the mayor's office and some of the other offices within the executive branch of city government. And then in the basement, you have the patrol division, the gym, and the property room. And so that's what's going on. This is what happens here. This is what's going on here in this building. And so that's the building that we're currently working with. And I want to say that it's been around since 1989. Let's just double check that. When was Muncie City Hall built? I want to say that it was built in 1989, if I'm correct. Let's see here. It was built in 90. It was built in 91. Okay, it was built in 1991. Okay, so look, it's getting up there. It's older. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's it's getting up there. It probably needs some repairs and things like that. That's I'm 100% sure that there are definitely issues that the building faces. Okay, well, the thing is with downtown Muncie, there used to be it used to be like the government complexes. Okay, because we used to have the city hall, which was furthest to the north, and then in the middle you had the old Delaware County Justice Center, the old jail. And a lot of you know the jail because the jail now, for most of you, you now know that as the condominiums that have been built in downtown Muncie. Okay. And so this right here is the justice or the city hall. And then there was the jail, the old Justice Center that contained the courts, the county courts, the sheriff's department, and then the public defender's office, and of course the jail. And that's what this building is. And that building is now taken out of the government complexes. This is now an amazing and very high value condominiums, which is very bizarre. And they moved the Justice Center out to the south of Muncie, Delaware County, which is weird. And then to the south of this building is the former Delaware County building. And this is the old Delaware County building. Okay. And so in this building, you had basically all of the Delaware County offices that was not the sheriff's department, public defenders, attorney's offices, and the jail. So you had the prosecutor's office, you had auditor's office, the commissioners, the council, a clerk's office, and all of that. Now, a lot of offices here Okay, a lot of offices here have went out to the new Justice Center, which the Delaware County Justice Center, a lot of you will recall, it was an old school building that let me see here. Justice Center. Okay, the Delaware County Justice Center now is the old Wilson Middle School, which was converted into the Justice Center. And so there's a lot of things out there. And now there's very few county offices that remain in this building that you see here, because most of them are now in this building that's no longer in downtown Muncie, which to me makes no sense. It's very bad. It's nonsense. I hate that they moved it out here. I like it that it's in a great big new kind of newer building, but I just don't like it that it's not downtown. I like the fact that you had City Hall, you had the jail, and you had the county building, bam, 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 right together. It made perfect sense. Having this out here is kind of nuts. Now, I'll be honest, I would be in favor of all of this going together in one giant building. If you put City Hall and the county offices like in a city, I'm not talking about specifically city county government, which, man, maybe I could explore that. That could be interesting, but we don't fit the criteria for that to happen. But I would be okay if they all shared a building. There's a way that could happen. That could make sense, but that's not what we're talking about, okay? Bottom line is we now have this building, which is like almost vacant. There's just a few offices left in it. I know the county commissioners want rid of this. And for those of you that have been longtime listeners of the show, you will know that I said starting back in the spring that Dan Ridenour was trying to figure out a way to get this. Ridenour wanted it. The county wanted rid of it. And they were trying to make a deal. I've been talking about this since the spring. And people were telling me I was crazy. Well, let's go back here and listen to what old Mayor Dan's saying.
Major challenge downstairs, which is the records room.
Property
and so we
room.
are looking for opportunities to adjust how the police department is in our building and or find a new location for some or all of the police services. We've talked with several different companies. We've picked this particular one to help us through the process. And I want to explain why we're using a company rather than just doing this ourselves. Right now, we have a number of people looking at things and everybody's going their own directions. And I don't mean this I just mean this is the reality, and I need to have it more focused. I do not want my city engineer spending his time on it because we have more road projects this year coming up, including Tillotson, than ever before. So I don't want him being a part of searching for solutions. That's number one. I know my MRC director has been trying to help find locations. The police have been on their own trying to look for locations. I have been helping to try and come up with solutions to this problem, but we did major repairs to the building. I just don't think it's working. And so we've got to come up with another solution. So we are hiring this company, personal services contract.
Rock and roll, Kate.
When
What?
when did they do major repairs to the building?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure that's something Craig Wright would have said. I mean, Mr. Usual, anything that's a little bit off.
I'm in the process of filing a records request to get that information as we speak, to find out when we did what. When did we do what? Because I know that we did major construction on the first floor of the building when we changed the roundabout when you come in, and the fishbowl area. The sergeant's desk, I know we did a lot of shit there because Dan and his people are scared of the citizens.
Right.
But I don't know that we did
remember that.
anything. What?
I remember that.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about that. I don't remember doing anything major work downstairs.
And what about repairs or pumping water? And he says he doesn't think that it's good. Well, it's either good or not. I mean, it's either not flooding or it is. So which is it? Not what it's not your opinion, dude.
Yeah. Right.
It's either happening or not. The repairs worked or not.
Yeah. So I
don't understand this man.
No, he's very difficult to understand. So this is what's happening. And because if we use a company, it will cost more. So when Dan goes to the council, he will have large bills to say, but we already spent this much on it. Absolutely.
To help us through that process, they will lead this search. We will look at our building. We'll look at other buildings that the city may own, properties the city may have, and even consider properties that we don't own as a solution to come up with a better operation within the police department. It is not all flowing. I do have the chief and deputy chief are here if there are questions, but it's become a challenge, and the other challenge is we have major parking issues as well, and a big part of that is the police vehicles. So not sure where we're going to end up, but that's what Veritas is here to help us with.
Great. To help keep your options open. Right.
Yes, and help us. And I do not want people separating their time to help with this search.
Sure.
And that's what I was seeing was happening, and I just felt I need a more structured method, and I need the people doing redevelopment and engineering and street work and police work. I want them focused on their jobs, and we're going to let this company help us through that process.
Is there,
Go ahead.
do you have any provisions for community input?
Hell no. Hell to the no.
Not at this time, but it's part of their process.
Okay.
It's part of their process.
Oh.
So it's a 6-month process. So
Ooh.
we don't know where we're going to go. We don't know how it's going to happen. We're not going in with any
What we do know is how much it's going to cost.
preconceived notions. Again, we do have some city property, but I don't know that that's appropriate. So that's what we're doing.
I have the perfect place for this. I'm not gonna tell you just yet. I want you to hear this. I've got the perfect place in mind. Stand
Mayor,
by.
just for the record, the compensation for Veritas is how are we paying them?
That'll be coming out of edit.
Okay.
Edit funds.
Ooh, it'll be coming out of edit. We're gonna pay with edit.
And the amount total?
I believe for the 6 months is like 40,000.
Why would he? Why is that something he would say? Why would he say? This is like a Sproles answer. Hey, do you have a problem with racist people that kill black people? Do you have a problem with the Aryan Brotherhood? What? No. I believe it's going to cost somewhere. You either know or you don't, and you should know, and you do know. So why are you acting all like you don't know? That's so crazy. It's going to cost $40,000 for 6 months, which, listen, in the grand scheme of things, for the city of Muncie, $40,000 isn't a lot. So I'm actually amazed that I'm amazed that it's just $40,000, honestly. But keep in mind, this is just for them to drive around, I guess, and say, ooh, that's a building. Ooh, there's a building. Really what this is I think it's going to be paying them $40,000 to help them kind of draw up how they can change the old Delaware County building into the new Muncie Metropolitan Police Department. Now, keep in mind, we only have like 110 officers. This is the other reason for the company. He can start this process without approval, without using edit. We don't have to go to the council. We don't have to do anything like that. Absolutely. Let's continue on. And I want to tell you where I've got a great idea of where the Muncie Police Department can go. Stand by.
And I
It's
think,
in that range.
4479.
yeah, and it's spread
Oh,
over.
it's
a couple months.
4470
Yeah,
something. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
It don't
Okay,
matter.
great. I
It's just
wanted
money.
that for the record. Thank you. Chief Sloan, do you have anything to add?
Just real quick, to build on what the mayor was saying here, we do have an aging infrastructure within the building. We have a lot of space needs. Something is always leaking around here. And while he said the records room, what he meant was the property room. And downstairs, that is a problem when you're talking about police departments storing property for decades, sometimes depending on the case. And if we have leak problems downstairs, which it's really a huge problem with the way the water sheets down the wall when it rains really hard. So we've
Where
been
are we
through two
talking about?
remodels already in the basement, just due to the traffic. If you've got a fire station where you've got a relatively low number of guys coming and going, I mean, the entire department is in and out of here almost every day, between the shifts changing. So HVAC is a nightmare to deal with sometimes, just the way the building's been chopped up over the years. Maintenance costs are high. Like he said, parking issues downtown. We've got a lot of them. A lot of those can be created by police cars because we're always coming and going. But it's also it's a recruiting tool as well. Everybody wants to work where it's nice, right? They want to have something to be proud of. And I think this is the first step towards that. So happy to stand for any questions.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I have
Any
none.
questions? Okay, so do we have a motion to approve this contract?
I move approval of the contract with Veritas.
Second.
Okay, do we have any public comment, questions? Okay, I think it's a great.
That's
first step.
exactly right,
Thank
Kate.
you very much for your vision on this. Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much. Look forward to the outcome. And then we have L and W billboard contract for 2026.
Look forward to the outcome. Okay, so we're gonna be paying this company $44,000 to tell Dan what he wants to hear, figure out a way to try to spin this. And I'm telling you, I've been hearing that Nate Sloan, the chief of police, has been pushing for the City of Muncie Police Department to have its own building. Now, I think that is insane. I don't think it should buy. People are saying the Star Building, the bank, this and that. No, listen. So first off, this is the building that Dan Ridenour wants. This is the building that Nate Sloan wants. They can see making this the headquarters of the Muncie Police Department. See it? See the hand goes up here? The Muncie Police Department. Okay. I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen, hold on here. Sorry. I'm going to show you my absolute most perfect place for the City of Muncie Police Department. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. In your minds. Ladies, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the home, the new home of the Muncie City Police Department. Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that the Muncie Police Department can find an all-new, luxurious home inside Muncie City Hall. Okay? Listen. Why don't we stop this weirdness with this company, Veritas or whatever, and get that $40,000 and use that $40,000 to repair whatever's going on downstairs? That would be fantastic. Spend a little bit of money to fix a situation to keep everything as it is, so we don't have to spend a lot of bit of money to do something stupid.
Well, and here's the other side of that. They pay money to move the police department somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to pay to fix that basement.
Yes.
If you plan on using it for anything else.
Yes.
So you're just doubling expenses.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's a very, very, very perfect explanation of the problem here. They're going to spend, God knows what they would need to spend to do this to the Delaware County building or wherever they put it. And they're going to have to still spend that money to repair whatever goes on down at the city hall. So it's double the money, double the fun. Absolutely stupid. That is a brilliant point. I tell you, the thing is here, it's crazy to me. This is just absolute crazy talk. And yeah, we need something pretty for recruitment. How about the amount of money you're now making? Is that not pretty enough? Is that not pretty enough? The amount of money that you're doing this with this? Listen, I want the police to be in a nice room, nice space that, you need it. I understand it. But this comes down to the fact, Kate said it. The fire department's getting a bunch of new pretty things. Okay. And they're like, we want something. And this all started, Nate Sloan started saying this all about the time that the Muncie Fire Department talk was in big swing. And it's always these guys just do one thing after another. It's like back and forth. And it needs to be at City Hall. The police department needs to be at City Hall. It doesn't need to be out in its own building where then if there's something that goes on at City Hall, they've got to then drive to City Hall. We're wanting to break these government buildings up into all of these different places all throughout the city. What they need to do, I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to fix this downstairs at City Hall, have the police department stay there, and they need to go back and fix the old little cop shops and all the little precincts, the district around Muncie, districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the neighborhoods, and have the little groups of police officers that work for that district go up there, and they have, a couple officers up here, a couple officers down there. I would be down with that. I am not down with this nonsense going on here with what's going on with this company that we're paying, and it's $40,000 now. How much is it going to be afterwards? How much is this going to be? This is going to be interesting to watch this. I thought Dan had the deal for parking at the new condo thing. Yeah, something happened there. They decided to take it away. They're going to put new condos in where the parking was going to go. Something funky happened there. You see how nothing that he ever talks about ever comes to fruition? Isn't that funny how that always happens?
On the bright side, though, the city is saving a shit ton of money on that deal falling through.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Yeah, that was a lot of money. So we are very early on in this situation here. We are going to continue watching this, and we will keep you guys posted with what's happening. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of this, and then we're going to jump on to the next topic here.
We have the mayor also again.
Yeah, we do this every year. We put up billboards primarily for Ironman. We're also going to put up some for some additional activities that are going on. We're really trying to hit that 20,000 mark for Fire Up, and so we're going to keep that those billboards for a year rather than just the 3 or 4 months that we normally do just for Ironman. So it'll be Ironman during that portion, and then we're going to keep it and help promote other things that we're doing in the city.
This is the billboards located where?
Both on 69, one for northbound traffic before the first exit to Muncie, Daleville exit, and then the other one coming from the north heading south, and it's before exit 241, so the Muncie exit, McGalliard.
Yes, I've seen those.
We've had the same billboards every year.
Yep, and they're very noticeable, so that's a good feel, people driving by. Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I move approval of the L&W billboard contract.
I'll second.
Okay, and do we have any comments or questions? Linda?
No.
Lola? Any public comment? Good, great, thank you for that, Mayor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried, thank you.
Thank you.
Right-of-way use application art installation, who do we have here? Mr. Carl Schaefer. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Carl Schaefer. I'm with Gordy Framing over here a couple blocks away. And I have been working with a local sculptor here in Nicholson here on a project to commemorate or celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Close Encounters movie. And so
This is
we have
cool.
been working with
I will say
the
this is
staff and
cool.
Krista for the last several months to place a public sculpture on their property for temporary time, maximum of 24 months. And when we arrived at the preferred location for this, we discovered it's actually owned by the city. So this is a parcel that is across the street from the old Amazing Joe's. So it fronts the river, and it's a little plot of grassy area there right next to the greenway. And so we'd like to be able to have a permit to place this public sculpture there on a temporary basis. It would be a fairly non-invasive thing. The sculpture is actually on a trailer, so it will be movable. And what we need to do then is to simply pour a small concrete plug in a post hole, and then we would bolt the trailer down into that post hole. And we would consult with the city if there's any infrastructure there that we need to pay attention to.
How tall is the structure?
How tall? About 10 feet.
Yeah,
tall.
it's on the way, so it's not obstructing any traffic or anything like that.
Not at all. It's in the grassy area.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna just lay across wheeling for 24 months, Ted.
Public attention, huh? How many have seen the movie? Anybody
Lola thought that was funny.
remember seeing the movie? Okay, just making sure. Okay, you haven't seen it?
No.
Have you seen it?
What the hell?
50 years.
50 years.
I wasn't even young when I.
that much.
Yeah, I wasn't even young when I saw it, so that's terrible. Okay, do we have a motion to approve this cool request?
Yeah, I move approval of the right-of-way application.
I'll second.
Okay, do we have any comment or question? Way cool. Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. We'll have documents for all of you to sign afterwards. Is there any other order of business? We got Mr. Yenser's raising his hand. We sure do. This is a place for public comment, my friend.
Well, I'm getting burned up about this, so I'll give you a few minutes. Rick Yenser, newsman in Offer. I heard last week that the city wanted a new police station. Let me remind you of the history. Police have always been at City Hall when Muncie Town and the first City Hall was built, and then the second City Hall, and now this City Hall. And after 30 years, now the City Hall becomes unworkable. Kind of like the Residential Justice Center across the street and giving it away. And we're still taxpayers, still paying a bond on that building, even though it's privately owned. I would hope that you look at buildings around Muncie. There's plenty of buildings. Just driving back in town today, empty bank building, empty storefronts. I think the city bought the bakery. The last thing we need is more debt to taxpayers. I looked up, somebody asked me, well, how much does city government owe? I said, well, go to Indiana Gateway and you'll find your government is $72 million in debt, mainly from the last administration and this administration with borrowed money, either from edit or other means, property or income or other things. And that $72 million in debt is excessive for a city that barely spends 30 million or more a year. And most of the comment here from people that wanted to know what was going on here is no, we don't need another police station. They can find places to put their records. They've got that thing out there on Granville that's filled with old vehicles. And I'm trying to think, the city's got other properties around here. So I hope the public has a chance to talk about this, because I'm finding with government that they become less open about whatever you're doing and spending our money. So anyway, that's all I got to say today. And hopefully you'll have a nice day, because spring is coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's and just a comment of question response, and that is, I think that is the exact reason why they're hiring an outside firm to look at all of the options. So it's not just focused on.
I understand, but I know Burgess. Burgess did the same job out here in Yorktown. What it caused was eminent domain, taking property away from people so they could build a town hall, Civic Green, and that apartment out there on 32.
Ding, ding, ding.
A little bit more history, but I got plenty more history if you want to listen. But I think
Fine. We are fine. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
And do we have any other comment? Going once, going twice. Okay, that's all. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Doom, doom. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Very weird. Very weird. It is what it is. So there's not gonna be public input. They don't want public input. It's edit money here, edit money there. By the time it comes around, it's gonna be like we've already spent all this money, like Kate said, and so it's like now we just got to do it because we're this far into it, and it's like, yeah, right. What? Who knows what? You know what I mean? So that's that. I think it's funny that Rick said that he heard last week. That was definitely around last week. It's been around since about the April of 2025. Probably, honestly, before that, if I heard it in the spring of 2025, it was probably bouncing around since probably the fall of 2024. So It's been going around, and so maybe we'll get to have a say, maybe we won't, probably not, and it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on now to the third and final topic of the evening, and that is the same old Delaware County GOP. Man, this is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Remember, Dan made a big deal about paying off debt and getting the city. $3 million in the red after 2020. Debt just keeps growing. Yeah, Kate actually pulled those up, the debt issue with what's going on in Muncie. And I think next week we'll take a look at that. I really appreciate you doing that. I saw that, and I didn't say anything in the group, but we will take a look at that next week and see what we've got going on there. Delaware County and the current election, it's so wild what's happening, and it's just like everything else. There's just not a way to stop it. There's just no way to stop anything that's going on. And it's just like you're sitting on the tracks and you're looking at the train coming, and it's going to run us over. And all we can do is just keep speaking out and fight. I saw somebody say, well, I'll save that. I'll save that for just a second. So last night we talked about the filings for Henry and Madison County. Tonight I'm going to go over real quick the filings for Delaware County, and then next week we'll go over the filings for Randolph County. So here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, are our Delaware County filings, same as in Madison County. We've got U.S. Representative for District 5. We've got Victoria Sparks, Republican. We've got Scott A. King. You guys know him as the collective person that was in here. I forget what his name is. Collective Soul Asylum, something like that. He was in here, and he was Night of the Living Dead. I love it. He's a weird character, but he's running. We then come down to Scott Alexander. Okay. What in the hell? Wasn't she a Democrat last time? She's always ran as a Republican? Okay. All right. So we've got Scott Alexander, who's the current incumbent, and we have Michigan resident Kat Critch, who's trying to run for Indiana State Senate District 26. That'll be interesting. I don't know how that's going to... I assume she's going to be challenged. We'll find out tomorrow. We then move on into the state representative. No challenge as of yet. Now, wait a minute. Have you found that at the state level? Because she wouldn't be challenged at the county. She'd have to be challenged at the state level.
She'd be notified, though, yes?
Not until after tomorrow. She'll be notified after tomorrow.
After tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that once it came in, they sent it to you. I didn't realize they waited till the end of the period and then sent them all out.
Yeah, I think that's what I got. You can call down and check. I'll be calling down at noon tomorrow, and they let people call down and check. But I think because it was only a week long, so I think they were just going to get them and then send them out in one go.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. I think it'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting run. All right, moving on into state representatives for this area. We've got 3. We've got District 33. That's J.D. Prescott. Of course, there are no Republicans running against him. No one's ever going to run against him. He's just going to be state representative of District 33 for the rest of time. We then move into District 34, which we went over that last night. Richard Ivey, Randall McAllister, Gomer Pyle, and Chris Walker. Gomer Pyle is obviously the Republican Party chairman, Tim Overton, and he shouldn't be running. He's nuts, and he just shouldn't be running. It's crazy. But whatever. We shouldn't. Hey, look, we shouldn't expect more out of our just newly elected chairman. You know, we shouldn't expect them to do things for the party and to do things for all candidates. We should expect them to run their own races and do very little to help the actual candidates. It is what it is. Chris Walker, I know that he's been challenged. I know that he has been challenged. But I don't know if he's withdrawn yet. We'll know that tomorrow. He's supposed to be withdrawing. I've heard if he withdraws, Tim will withdraw. Well, golly. But I don't know what's going to happen or not. So I don't see him doing that. That's just what they're saying. It is what it is. Next, Elizabeth Roway is running in District 35. We were hoping that she was going to have a challenger, but she does not. So it is what it is. Okay, going on. We now have, we're circuit court judges. Delaware County Circuit Court 4, Zachary Craig. He's currently the chief deputy prosecutor. No one is challenging him as a Republican. We then get into Circuit Court 5, where we have Ben Freeman, Republican, and Tim Hollums, Republican. Ben Freeman is the counsel attorney, and he shouldn't be judged. He just doesn't know anything. Delaware County prosecutor, Republican, no challenger. Sharon McShirley running for clerk of the court, Republican, no challenger. Ed Carroll, Delaware County auditor, of course, running, no challenger. James Carmichael is running for recorder. He's currently the assessor, and I've heard that he's wanting to retire. So he decided to, instead of just retiring, actually, he's going to take a nice, cool job where he can like play it easy in the recorder's office. Like, these people just can't go away. They can't ever just go away. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is this. The Delaware County Sheriff. Okay, we've got James McCall, Republican. No one knows who this individual is. Running against the current chief deputy, Jeff Stanley. And if you will recall, James McCall is the one that we were talking about where I was saying, like, I don't understand what he's doing. Says he's from Ohio. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. It's kind of a strange thing. So I actually sent him an email where I was like, hey, I'd like to talk with you. Now, the email I sent him said this: I would really like to speak with you about your run for Delaware County, Indiana Sheriff in the upcoming 2026 primary election. Can you text or call me here? And then I gave my number. He responded. I was pleasantly surprised until I read the message. And he responded saying this: I would like to entertain the questions. Okay, let's entertain them. But he goes on and says, however, that's never a good sign. I swear to God, I can't figure it out. Everybody running for office says, I'd like to entertain the questions. However, no, however. However, our current political system in Delaware County, hey, bud, you mean my current system. I don't know who you are, where you're from, or what the deal is. I'm not even sure that you live here, bro. You won't even talk to me and let me know the deal. So I don't know that you can call it ours. Maybe, I'm just not sure. However, our current political system in Delaware County is trying to force me into resigning. What? It's trying to force me into resigning from the run for sheriff. They're trying to say that I didn't vote in 2 Indiana primaries. Wah, wah. They thought I've only lived in Indiana for a couple of years. Well, what does that matter? I mean, if he's meaning couple as in 2, meaning last year and the year before, then he would be correct. He only has a couple, or he wouldn't have two primaries because we didn't vote last year, and the year before would have only been one primary. Now, if he's using couple as meaning anywhere between 2, 3, 4, then he should have possibly two primaries unless he didn't vote or something. So we'll have to find out what that is. And it's weird. He says they thought I've only lived in. Well, why would they think that? Unless there's something that would say that. However, I've lived here for 7 or 8 years. Okay, that's interesting. I did vote in 2 primaries. However, here's the however. However, the State Board of Elections does not have my record. Yeah, right. I've lived here 7 or 8. What? Which is it? He doesn't know. I've lived here for 10 years and 6 months, right? You either know or you don't know. It's not hard to know, you know. They don't have my record. I voted on the west side of Indianapolis. Okay. That was a Republican chair. Listen to this. I voted on the west side of Indianapolis, and a woman that was the Republican chair over there, I met her that day. If I could find out her name, she can confirm that I was there and I voted because she tried to get me to run for a position there as a constable. What kind of a weird-ass sentence story is that? What is going on here? Their issue is they said I did not vote in 2 primaries. Yes, you've said that. When I contacted the election board, the state election board, when I contacted the election board, the state election board, they didn't have my records, but the Marion County Election Board did. But they do not have where I voted over on the west side of Indianapolis. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Listen. He says, when I contacted the election board, the state election board, they didn't have my records, but the Marion County Election Board did. So they did. But they do not have where I voted over on the west side of Indianapolis. So they don't. They don't even have where I was registered to vote, which is weird because I've registered to vote every time I moved because I wanted to make sure my record was cracked because I vote in every election. That's the most patriotic duty any member or citizen of this country can do as exercise of the right to vote. Now, State Board of Elections is telling me my record might be actually merged with somebody else's. And that's why they can't find it. Maybe his record is merged with mine. That would make sense. They merged James McCall with Kristopher Bilbrey. But if I can't prove that they're going to file, a challenge and have me removed from the ballot. Also, I should mention that they waited until the day of the deadline that I could have the party chair sign off on my application in case there was an issue after the deadline. So that way I couldn't get it corrected. That's called politics, bud. I simply called them out for that and told him that was dirty politics. That's the ticket, James McCall. The county Republican chair here called me and left me a voicemail on my phone at around 4 something in the afternoon. Could it have been 4:20? The day of the deadline. The deadline is actually noon that day. Thank you. And then I talked to him again on the phone. He texted me, I have all the proof that they are wanting me to step down or they're going to challenge my petition and have me removed. He's also trying to say it'll be determined to me in the future. detrimental to me in the future if I choose to run for any elected office, which I think he's out of line on that because it's not like it's going on a credit report or anything. What? On a credit report? No, it's just going in your voter history, dude. I've seen the political spotlight before in Ohio when I worked over there for county sheriff. What?
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 We've been on, what, 19 months?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And he saw it when he was living in Ohio.
In like 2022.
Oh, I sent you something in Messenger too.
Okay,
by the way.
Great. I'm checking it out right now. What do you mean, what is this? Did you say, what is this? It looks like the minutes of that meeting from November 2023.
Yeah.
So, November of 2023.
Uh-huh. He's getting sworn in as an auxiliary officer in the village of Somerset, Ohio.
But he lived here for 7 years.
But he's lived here for 7 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little confusing?
It's definitely confusing. But wait a minute. No, that would work. Because it's 2026. So wait a minute. This is November 14 of 2023.
Right.
So 14
He's just getting sworn in
to November of 2023. 24, 25, 26.
But he's living in Ohio and getting sworn in as an officer over there.
But no. This is not right because he was on the west side of Indianapolis sometime in the last 7 years. I'll send him this tonight and I'll be like, how does this...
Is this you?
Is this you?
Yeah.
Dude, this is so nuts. I want him to run so badly now. I want him. That's 8 years. Is he pulling a Lisa? I want him to run in Henry County. I feel like that's the only good thing to do. He's seen a political spotlight.
Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
Yeah, right. Yes, yeah, Audie. It's great. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. This dude, man, I'm telling you, people, man. Wait, we're not done yet. And listen, I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, it's not going to go on our credit report or anything. I've seen political spotlight before in Ohio when I worked there for a county sheriff, and it was a very political, very, very corrupt system. If you ask me, just like it is over here, as I found out as soon as I filed my petition, they knew this alleged information about the supposed not voting in 2 primaries, which they are wrong. It's their record is wrong. Listen to this sentence. I love it. Man, I've read all kinds of emails with shitty punctuation today. It's their record is wrong. It's their record is wrong is what it is. It's their record is wrong is what he's talking to text. It's got to be what's happening here. This is like someone that's looking at the next door neighbor. It's their record is wrong is what it is. But they waited until the day of the deadline to tell me. Wait a minute. I feel like he's leaving us hanging. Like there's more to the story that we didn't get. So what? You told us a bunch of stuff, but you left it a cliffhanger, bro. So I'm going to reach out to him. Now, here's what I hate. This is what pisses me off about this guy. is the shit that he's talking about. I've sat and I've watched. I have watched them do away with people's records. I have watched them have a person who's voted and who's had proof. They've had both of the tickets from where they voted, but they merged their record or something. And they just kicked them off the ballot. And that does happen. And let me tell you, it's the bullshit like this that make the people that it actually happened to, it's like the little boy who cried wolf. It's the crazies out here that make the legitimate people seem like nuts. They make me seem bad. They're going to be like, oh, they chalk this up to, well, this is just a Bilbrey guy. This is just like Audie. It's just like Bilbrey. It's just like Catherine. It's just like everybody that raises a stink about corruption and dirty shit. This dude's nothing like me. He's completely nuts. The problem here, and I get what you're saying because I've looked this guy up. So the problem is it doesn't jive with what he says on his campaign page. He's got a campaign Facebook page up. That doesn't jive. It says he's been an active, like OPATA, a law enforcement officer in Ohio for like 30 some years and things like that. So this just doesn't jive. This guy's saying that he lives in Ohio. And no, you have to live to be a law enforcement officer in Ohio. I believe you have to live in Ohio. I think it's the same thing here. I'm pretty damn sure. I'll have to check that out. But his LinkedIn page is all over the place. It seems like this guy he seems very much like a Randy Howard. How does that happen? How does that happen? All right, so enough of that. All right, I want to tell you that he did reach out to me. I did message him. Something is off here. Okay, so that's just something is off. It is what it is. So we'll continue following up with that. It is that. All right, moving on here. All right, so that's James McCall, Jeff Stanley. Okay, Gavin Green, Republican, Delaware County Coroner, no challenger. This is going to be an interesting race to watch. County Assessor. We've got two Republicans, Sherry Chafin, Republican, and Adam Kohlholt. And the current Delaware County Assessor, which is Carmichael up here, he has basically given his blessing to both Sherry and Adam. The party, Matt Kantz, Stephen Brand, and the whole bunch of them, they are pushing Adam Kohlholt hard. Pushing him hard. Sherry Chafin, well, it is what it is. Whatever. That'll be interesting to watch. Okay. Delaware County Commissioner, District 3, Republican Donald R. Chambers Jr. versus Matt Kantz. This will be an interesting race to watch. Moving on, Delaware County Council members, District 1, we've got our kid David Williams is in the race. Our kid David Williams, District 1, running against Daniel Flanagan, all right? And then in District 2, we've got our other kid, William Hughes. He's like 900 years old. He is, I love him. I like Bill. He's got no challenger. And then in District 3, we've got the former Delaware County Sheriff, Tony Skinner, running for Matt Kantz's seat. And then in District 4, we've got Mr. Steak. Okay, Mr. Steak running against Mr. Hot Dog. James Jim Mokel running against Ryan S. Webb. So that'll be a thing. That'll be interesting. And then we get into the township trustees. We got Austin Hamill. That's going to be interesting. Delaware County. No challenger. Hamilton. No Ralph Flowers. Taylor Shipley. None of these are basically challenged, except when we get down here to Union Township. That'll be wild. And then township board members. We've got, a lot of them. Bob Wilson, David Hinkle, Harrison. There's a bunch of them. If you're interested in that, take a look at that and see it. It's definitely worth a look and see what goes on here. All right, we're gonna click on down here. We've got the town council member Albany, Daleville, Yorktown. Oh, hey, Jason Gassaway in Yorktown. You might, if you're over there, you might do Jason Gassaway. No true trans Republicans at this point. Those are mostly on the city. Now, here, ladies and gentlemen, is where it gets, this is what matters. Here are the Republican convention delegates. This is what matters more than anything else. In the 1st district, we've got Stephen Brand, Ed Carroll, Trish Carroll, Janet Durand, Amber Green, Tanya LePage, William LePage, Alexander McDonald, Dan McDonald, Randall McAllister. All right. Joseph Shaw, Bill Walters, David Williams, Mike Bauer, Adam Koval. Okay. Oh, no, back up. All right. District 2, we've got Mike Bauer, Adam Koval, Aubrey Christ. We're going to talk about Aubrey Christ here in a minute. Sharon McShirley. It's always weird to me when I see they do big names. I'm like, what's the big name for? Or is the big name, does that mean something? Why is everybody else's name little? And then we got some big names. That makes me suspicious. Bradley Polk, Dwayne Richmond, Elizabeth Roway, Ryan S. Webb, Scott A-hole Alexander. Oh, no, that's District 3. All right, so District 3, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. In this corner, we've got Scott A-hole Alexander versus Michelle Batters and Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is the only race that matters. I think they pick, 5 in District 3. I think 5 are in District 3. Is that right? 5 in District 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I've got to beat, is it 5, Kate? So I've got to beat, a couple of these idiots to be able to pull this off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means 1, 2, 3, 4.
Conveniently, you're
5,
at the top of the alphabet.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, that is true, Kate. That is very good.
A lot
I'm glad
of
to
people
hear
just
that.
go in and go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
First 5 done.
Oh, Michelle Batters beats. Oh, no. Let's see. Wait. Let's see.
Down.
Huh?
You're
So,
the 3rd one on the list.
Alexander Batters.
Bilbrey.
Okay, Bilbrey.
Bilberry.
Castle. Yeah, I am 3 down. Oh, God. Ugh, come on. I'm more nervous now than when I actually ran for shit that I actually cared about. That's crazy to me. Because I want to go to the convention and see all the wild debauchery that goes on. That's all I care about. Where are you at? Are you telling me something? Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, here's the Democrats. Running for the same race as the 2 weirdos at the top of the Republican ballot are all of these Democrats. Holy shit, it's going to be a knockdown drag out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people in this deal. And J.D. Ford, he is currently a state representative, I think. No, I don't even think he's not a senator. Jackson Franklin's really pushing it hard, and so we'll see what happens. All right, here running for Indiana State Senator, District 26, Democratic Party Chairman Andrew Dale. And it's just as stupid that he's running that Tim Overton's running. Find another Democrat to run, stack your deck, put your people in, and help them out. Or step down as the party chairman and run for office. But do not do both. It's just all I got to say. I don't get it. I can't get it. It's not okay. It's not okay. That's just period. It's not okay. All right. So we've got District 33, John Bartlett, Democrat. He'll be seeking the office in November against J.D. Prescott. Sarah Gallion will be taking on the winner of that mess in November because she doesn't have a challenger. And then Phil Gift in District 35 will be taking on Roway. Circuit Court Judge duking it out in Circuit Court 5. Marisol Driscoll, a prosecutor, versus Amanda Dunnick. My pick is on Dunnick. Okay, just to let you know. And then looky here. Look what happened and look what popped up. And I did not know this. Delaware County Circuit Court Clerk Cameron Grubbs is running for clerk, and it will be a knockdown, drag-out fight between Cameron Grubbs and Sharon McShirley. This will be an interesting. Listen, he might beat her in the election, but she's got him beat in the puns. I guarantee it. There's just no way. There's no way he can beat her in the pun game. So, just saying, it is what it is. Okay. And then as if he doesn't have enough on his hands running as a Republican for county council and running for a delegate for county council as a Republican, David Williams is also on this side of the ticket running for Delaware County Sheriff as a Democrat. And no, I'm kidding. This is a different David Williams. This is the David Williams that is not our kid. It's someone else's kid, David Williams. I like this guy. He's a good dude. I don't have an issue with him. He's a great guy. I'm going for McCall, obviously, but it is what it is. So, okay, moving on. Democrat Scott Hahn is going to be taking on is going to be taking on Gavin Green. Scott Hahn is a former coroner. He's a Muncie fireman. I like Scotty. Scotty's a good dude. It's going to be interesting. Okay, taking on the winner of Matt Kantz and Don Chambers will be Ken Mace. Ken Mace is running as a Democrat for Delaware County Commissioner 3. Ken is a longtime name in the Delaware County government family. Good dude, and it'll be interesting to see challenge accepted for the pun war. It'll be interesting. Okay, and then Cody Wright, don't know him, will be running as a Democrat for Council District 1. Ashley Wright will be running as a Democrat for District 3. And then Michael Durrell, however you say it, will be running in District 4. Okay. And then Marilyn K. Walker is running again for Center Township Trustee. She's got that on lock. Jesse Landis, and then just basically everybody that always runs the same people basically are doing all this shit. So if you want to see all of this stuff for these little races, you can check this out, look at it. It'll be interesting. We have I'm sure we have a challenge coming up soon, because I'm sure that a couple people will be challenged. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on. I don't think that we'll see many challenges from the Democrat side. I think we'll see challenges on the Republican side, and so that will be that'll be that. Okay, so that's who's running, and that's what's going on there. Now, I do want to tell you, before we roll, I want to tell you what big shakeup is happening in the Republican Party. So today, I got my hands on an email. And this email, ladies and gentlemen, is just more of the same. It's just like it never ceases to amaze me what kind of shit is going on and why it's going on, how it's going on, where it's going on. It's really crazy. That is a good thing, Kate. You're absolutely right. So I want you guys to look at this email. This is an email, okay? And this says, ooh, wait a minute. I can't get it. Okay. This email says confidential. Stephen Brand's 2024 absentee voter list. That's the subject. Okay. But the email is not from Stephen Brand. It's from Aubrey Christ. Now, for those of you that don't know Aubrey Christ is the secretary for the Delaware County Republican Party. So she is a central committee member. She's elected by the party to be the secretary. She's here. Okay. She's right here. All right. And for those of you that are not familiar, she is the daughter of current council president of the Muncie City Council, Jeff Green. That's his daughter. She is also a city attorney for the Ridenour and Mayor's administration. Okay. So she's a city attorney, and she's also the chair, the Central Committee secretary. So she, folks, sends out this email that says confidential, Stephen Brand's 2024 absentee voter list. She sent this just a couple of months ago, October 17th, 2025. And it says, all attached are the absentee voter lists from Stephen Brand's 2024 campaign. As I've mentioned to most of you already, he is not releasing this information to all of our candidates. Okay? So please do not share this information with others. If you have any questions or concerns as you look through this information, please let me know. I can also review this with you in your training session if you signed up for one. I will be sending a separate email out to all candidates in a few minutes with additional voter information. And then the attachments say Brand 2024, phones absentee list. And then they say absentee list PDF. Okay. This is gatekeeper politics, folks. This party central committee, Tim Overton, Joe Boyce, Aubrey Christ, and Jessica Piper. Tim said that they were going to be doing things totally different. All right. There's been a big push for use your real dot and Ford coward. What is that, Randy? Dude, are you a... You literally, can you not look at what you're typing before you send it? You look like a paste sandwich eater every time you type. That doesn't even make sense. 4-day, you're a coward. Dude, lay off the paint chips, bro. Just listen. Listen, I'm going to do you a favor. Proofread before you hit send, bro. Proofread. That's all. Proofread, bro. All right. Back to Yes, you're correct. You mistyped. You are an idiot. You are a sorry idiot. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Hey, it's forgiven, Randy. We understand. You can't do any better than you're doing. Good try, little buddy. You will get a participation trophy. Okay. So, here's the thing. Tim ran on doing better, and there's been this big battle between a bunch of candidates and Tim about getting these walking lists. And here's what Tim is telling these people. well, we can't give you the list because we don't want the list to fall in the hands of some Democrats, and then they have our list and they know who it is. That is a bullshit excuse. Because, and follow me here, people, this shouldn't be hard. If the Democrats have the list of Democrats, and they know in Delaware County where every hard D Democrat is, where every middle of the road D Democrat is, and where every light D Democrat is, okay, they know where all these Democrats are. And if you go into a neighborhood and there are 20 houses in the neighborhood and 5 of them are Democrats, you can look at the list and you can see, okay, that house is a Democrat, that house is a Democrat, that house is a Democrat, that house over there is a Democrat, and the house up on the hill is a Democrat. That means the other 15 houses are Republican. And they're aware. They know it. They know it. They know it. All right. They're aware. So the thing is, it's stupid when Tim says, well, we don't want them to know who our Republicans are. They already know. The same as the Republicans know who the Democrats are. All right. Hey, good night, Randy. Good night talking to all 1 million of our viewers. See you, Randy. Good night, buddy. Take care. Have another one as a nightcap, buddy. So anyways, we'll see how many times he has to say good night. We'll see how many times he has to say good night tonight. It took him like 7 times last night. Over like almost an hour and a half before he was actually able to stop texting and just watch. It's nuts. Anyways, so it's crazy. That's a crazy excuse that Tim is just like he's used to death. So then this gets put out. So I post this today and I said, same old Delaware County Republican Party, same old Delaware County Republican Party bullshit. All right. When political parties pick winners and losers before the public has a chance to vote, it's the public and our system that are the real losers. For those wondering, Aubrey Chris is the Delaware County Republican Party secretary. She is also an attorney for the Ridenour administration, and she's also the daughter of Muncie City Council President Jeff Green. And then what's really interesting to me is the comments that then poured in. Okay? When some people said, this is not new. This is something that has happened every single go-around. Unless you kiss ass, trail on coat ends, donated hundreds of hours to a certain political event, donated plenty of cash, then you are simply not in the circle. The crazy part is Brand lied to everyone and pretended to be on the other side of things. That man is a massive sack of garbage and his best running mates too. And listen, I'm just reading what this says. We can talk about whether we agree or disagree another time. I'm just letting you know what this says. Ross Gates says the crazier part is people actually believed him when he's a known J6er. Okay. And, all right, whatever. Okay. Andrew Pop. Now, I literally thought Andrew Pop moved to like North or South Carolina. I have not heard anything from him in like a year. But all of a sudden, he pops up out of nowhere, and Andrew Pop says, Brand is not a part of the party leadership. If he wants to share his election resources to specific candidates, that's his information and decision. Huh. Okay. Well, I agree with you. The problem is, Brand isn't sharing it. The party is sharing it. And if you think that Brand, as commissioner, isn't pulling the strings of the party and isn't inserting his hand up Tim's backside and making the mouth work, Mr. Pop, you have been gone longer than I thought, because this is crazy. You're right. If Commissioner Brand wants to send out an email from his personal email account or his campaign email account and send this to Jim Mokel or send this to Adam Koval or send this to someone, whatever, whoever, he's more than happy to do that, and that's more than fine, and there's nothing that anybody could say. When he passes it on to Aubrey Christ, and the direction is to give this to only certain people, and the parties involved with that, that is when the problem occurs. And Ryan Webb said as much. The problem is that it's not Brand sharing the information. It's not Brand sitting down with candidates to go over the information. It's a member of the local Delaware County Republican Party leadership. Okay. Andrew says she's sending out information at Brand's request. He is a precinct committee member. I'm sorry. This all seems fair to me. Okay. Whatever. David Williams says, have you seen the list? Then these comments, if not, these comments are invalid. Funny. Andrew says, actually, it's very valid. And what list? And David, with the great response, says, you answered my question. The list the party isn't giving to all candidates. That's a, I don't know what he's trying to say there. That's neutral, whatever. I'm not a candidate, LL, so I don't need said list. If I did, I would be smart enough to know who has it and who doesn't. I said Tim Overton is not part of party leadership either. That's the problem. Also, I thought you moved away. He said house in Seath fell through. We are still here for now. Okay, all right, that's fine. Let's see here. Let's see. Funny, I thought the party as a whole was against absentee voting, all that voter fraud and all. David Williams says bootlickers have arrived. It's not a private list. Misty Barton says exactly. Frank Russell says, I want to know who got the list. Basically a form of political doxing. Nepotism at its extreme. So Brand agreed to share the absentee voter list with a select number of candidates. Am I understanding this correctly? You are. Tim Overton responds, many Republicans have private contact lists. They are free to share these lists to whoever they wish. Since the county party has the Republican contact info, we are often asked to pass out information along. We are happy to do so upon request. Any Republican can ask us to share information, and we will be happy to assist. Ryan Webb says, with all due respect, Chairman, I think if someone wants to help a particular candidate, they are obviously free to do so. However, I believe the party is blurring the lines of neutrality when they assist in helping one group of candidates over another. In my opinion, the party should either help everyone or help no one in the primary. David Williams said, and you know this how? The question mark private list, because let's face it, Tim Overton is a candidate only now. He was not a candidate at the time. He shouldn't have had the list. He's not a candidate. Hell, for all we know, he's a Democrat and he wants to get the list and do evil things with it. I don't know. Misty Barton comes in with a great comment and says, you guys got caught. Oh, she says, bullshit. You guys got caught. I love it. Michelle Freed says, you all have been icing people out of elections for years, Democrats and Republicans alike, but the writing is on the wall. Americans are tired of the BS and they want real change. If the party wants to keep playing games, they are about to find out that voters are done with the BS games. Patience is not unlimited, and people are paying attention now. And let's not pretend that email looks innocent. It clearly says not to share the information with other candidates. That is not transparency. That is gatekeeping. This whole email exchange is not a good look, period. Love it.
I have a question.
Yep.
This is in October of 2025. At that point in time, there are no candidates.
Yeah.
So what the hell is going on here?
Well, everybody was running back. I mean, most of the powerhouse people were all running back then.
I get that. But you can't, like, you're not supposed to door-to-door knock until you file.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're officially a candidate.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, no one's a candidate.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know who got it.
Yeah, we're working on finding that out. And we will have that information soon. Because there are people that are assisting with that. Tim is just so tiring. I'm just so tired of all the excuses. I just want to know, doesn't he ever get tired of the excuses? He says, I would also add this email was sent on October 13th, 2027. No, it was sent on October 17th. I don't know why I keep saying 2027. He said, sorry, this was sent on October 13th, 2025. It takes a whole lot of effort to make voluntary inter-party cooperation and information sharing controversial. No, it doesn't take any effort. I mean, I don't know what dude, it would be one thing if this was sent like in October of 2023. It would still be bullshit if it was sent in October of 2023. But October 17th of 2025, November 17th, December 17th, January 17th, it was sent 4 months ago. 4 months leading up to the 2026 election. So I just want to ask you, Tim Overton, are you tired of the excuses yet? Because I'm tired of them. I'm tired of hearing them come from your dumbass mouth. Just stop with the excuses already. I just wish for once one of these people could come out and be like, look, we're just not going to play fair. Don't act like you're trying to do it fair. Tim, let me tell you what that would be like, Tim. That would be like me walking up and I'm talking just, this is all hypothetical. I'm not going to do this. You're not in any danger. I'm just being facetious. This would be like coming up and slapping you and being like, I didn't slap you. And you're like, why did you slap me? And then I slap you with the other hand. And you're like, what? Why did you do that? And I'm like, I didn't do that. And then I slap you again. And you're like, what the hell? And I'm like, dude, why do you keep saying I'm slapping you? I've not touched you. Wow. You know, that's what you're doing. Just quit. Clinton. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Hey, and I'm sure the Democrats are doing the same thing. It's all the same thing, man. The one thing I can say is the Democrats are really trying to get each other in. So they might be playing a little bit nicer with each other. And even over there, I don't like that the party chairman's running, but at least he's not running against any other Democrat. It would really be bad if he was running against another party Democrat. At least, in this situation, Tim is running against 3 other Republicans. as a Democrat Party chair, how is he a Republican in good standing? He's trying to stop all these other Republicans from winning in that race. So crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Next week, we're going to get back to the hour-and-a-half shows. I don't know why this has all been going so long. I'm sorry. It's just been so much. I mean, honestly, I could do like 4 6-hour shows a day, or 6 4-hour shows, or 10 20-hour shows a day. I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of shit going on. I'm so sorry. We're going to get back to more under control times next week. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great, 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 great Friday. And we will let you know if we're going to be here tomorrow or not. We will let you know by around noon. So check in on social media and look here, and we'll see what happens. I see that, Kate. I wish I would have seen that earlier. Kate says, whose mistype is she cute? I wish I would have seen that. I love it. So, all right, you guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great, great Friday. And we will see you back here Sunday. Or if something goes crazy, well, we might just see you tomorrow. But we'll let you know. You guys take care. Have a good night and goodbye.